Just want to address something real quick. I was supposed to give Ifrit's Overdrive 10 wins, but instead I sinned it because I'm a dickhead. So let's take that sin off and slap those wins on, baby. From this point on is where the combat starts to come into its own. For a little while the game is nothing more than pick the right party member for the job, but once stronger enemies start appearing, this small detriment ultimately becomes one of the best parts of the combat. Each party member has a defined role. Tidus can hit faster enemies, Wakka can hit flying enemies, Lulu kills Flans and elementals, and so on, which means unlike some other RPGs where you just pick your favourites and off you go, Final Fantasy X encourages you to make full use of your party, and no one gets underutilised with the exception of maybe Kamari, who is malleable and can fit a variety of roles due to blue mage status. It's a great combat system with some fantastic bosses that make full use of these mechanics. This is helped even further by having the ability to switch characters on the fly by hitting L1 without sacrificing your turn, further encouraging you to use everyone in your party. I love this system, and I wish more games would use it, to be honest. Orange shows signs of dementia as he attempts to chug the jug that does not exist. Tidus is addicted to blitzballs. One of my favourite things about this game, when Yuna summons an Aeon while one of the active party members is KO'd, they get up and run off screen. But then when the Aeon is dismissed, it's like, oh fuck!
Are you all?
What great.
This might be the last time we can rest like this.
Oddly presumptuous. What makes you say that? Do you know something we don't, Lulu?
Pretty.
We interrupt this video game to bring you Stranger Things.
What did we do that was so bad in the first place? Was it using lots of Machina or something? Wait, was that such a bad thing, really?
Ever since I was young, I never questioned it.
Religious worship and never questions the teachings even though they're obviously wrong cliché.
You see, Yuna, what I mean is, you really shouldn't worry, you know? After we beat Sin, that's when you can worry about the future.
Ha!
Hela du sadwi.
Huh?
It means nice to meet you.
Ah, well, heli do sad we to you too.
L-bed primers can be found all over Spira. Finding them and learning our language might be fun.
Sounds like a massive pain in the ass to teach someone your language by having them find 26 books, each giving them knowledge of a single letter. Though, tying a collectible to the translation of an in-game language is a great way to actually get people to find your collectibles. It's pretty neat, man. I call everything neat. I need a bigger vocabulary. A boss that punishes you by knocking you off a cliff and forcing you to take the long way around. Cool idea, even though we're gonna go down that path anyway for all the chests and stuff. What's the point of resting at inns if the save spheres get the job done just the same? Bit of an oversight, methinks. The game doesn't play Crazy Chocobo while riding a chocobo. I'm sure some of you would count that as a win, but that's a sin in my books. Don't judge. Oh shit, sorry, left my antagonist theme music playing. Hey, how you doing?
Both the Crusaders and the Al-Bed truly wish peace for Spira.
But using Machina, that's bad, isn't it?
Pretend you didn't see them.
Beg your pardon, but that's not something a maester should say.
Then pretend I didn't say it.
My villain radar is going off the charts. Or maybe it's my gaydar, I'm not sure. Still, early voice acting aside, Seymour's a pretty cool bad guy. So much of his dialogue is memorable and suitably sinister. I take back what I said about Final Fantasy X having good field themes. What the fuck even is this song anyway? There's no discernible melody or motif, and it's way too repetitive. That's not where you're supposed to put a mask, mate, unless you've got a literal dickhead. If there's one thing to criticize about 10's combat, it's how repetitive the enemies get. There's really only a couple dozen individual types of enemies in the game, which end up just being palette swapped several times throughout, and all of them pretty much require the same strategy to beat. Some more enemy variety would have been welcome.
It's about your brother. I'm the one who convinced him to enlist.
When we used to play Blitz together, Chapu used to say, he said that when we won the cup, yeah, he proposed to Lulu.
And now Wakka gets sloppy seconds. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the world's most awkward hug.
Just tell me one thing. Have you seen Zanarkand?
It's safe to assume that the Maesters don't know about Dream Zanarkand, and there's really nothing of note in the ruins of Zanarkand apart from obtaining the final Aeon, so what exactly did Keenock mean by this? The moonwalk for a new generation.
Go to Yuna.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay. Don't know how this giant thing got up so high considering it's got no wings, but whatever. Up till now the game has been pretty easy, but this is where the game grabs you by the balls and demands your attention, because if you ain't paying attention, you will die quite easily. I love this fight because of how multi-layered it is compared to anything we've seen before, and even though I'm not big on 10's battle themes, I really like the one that plays here. And this is only the start of the fantastic boss battles. Oh boy. Mind you, I'm a bit uncomfortable with it showing off its gash like that. Cover up already, jeez. Operation Red Shirt is a go. Oh no, the animation budget ran out. Seriously dude, seizure warning. Yevon, I don't feel so good. Seymour has impressive strength for someone who is essentially just a black mage with the ability to summon.
Stand back, Lady Yuna.
Yes.
She says while proceeding to not stand back. Child me was so excited at the prospect of playing as Seymour because I was like, oh wow, he's gonna be a party member. Once in for stabbing me in the back, you piece of shit. Reclining, breathless. So, me on a daily basis. Ah-cha-cha.
Sin is checked.
Thanks for the recap, old man.
In dark times, she must shine bright.
John DiMaggio isn't being that other racist party member in this scene.
Smile, let me see. Is that the Jose Temple?
Anyone else just stand here thinking it's a cutscene? Come on, show of hands. I bet you it was every single one of you.
I am Isaru. I am a summoner. Like you.
I'm Bussy.
What the heck is a child gonna do for you as a guardian, apart from whinge for food, warmth, and V-Bucks?
Isaru, I don't want the default skin. It makes me look like a noob.
We're all out of healing potions. I don't know, maybe just pop out to the inn 3 fucking meters away then.
Ain't much future for a guardian without a summoner, eh?
What? What y'all talking about?
I, a small child of 3 feet, am unable to hear anything that is taller than me. Oh, what a curse. Cloister of Trials. The gang's all going through the trial together this time around, and yet we can still only carry 1 sphere at a time.
You are Oren, no? Can I shake your hand?
Oren, please, shake my hand. But here, let me flex the fuck out first, bro.
Really, there's no rush. Here. Your hair.
A summoner with bad hair. What's the world coming to?
Bad hair, they say, as Yuna's appearance remains as untouched as every female character who has to trek through the most treacherous of jungles in every movie ever.
We can all learn a lesson from what has happened to the Crusaders.
I play games to escape from Jehovah's Witnesses hounding me in my own home. Do you think I need them in my video games as well?
It's Kimari's problem. We can't interfere. It's a rule.
Hang on a sec.
We can't interfere. It's a rule.
Oh no, the voice acting budget ran out too! Best field theme in the game, hands down, except for maybe the Zanakin Ruins one. Earning new overdrive modes, the conditions under which your overdrive charges, takes way too long in my opinion. Some characters will barely have any new overdrive modes before the end of the game, and so they're left to take damage to charge the meter instead of anything else, which is less than desirable. Discount My Little Pony, or maybe upgraded My Little Pony. I don't think it's as cool as most of the other Aeons, but if Ixion is one of the weaker designs in the Aeon lineup, that's really saying something. Aeons obviously have to take orders from the summoner who summoned them, but would they really attack other summoners like that? It's all but confirmed that each Aeon is its own entity. There are no copies, because if someone like Belgamine here summons an Aeon, Yuna can't summon the same one. So what, even if Ixion here knows who Yuna is, it's still gonna shove its horn in Yuna's chest because someone else said so?
This is the Moonflow.
You can't catcall a fucking lake, dumbass.
No, I don't think so. It's bad idea, yes. Right, the Zupuff? Is everybody okay?
Whoever decided giving the Hypello this accent should reconsider their career. There's a chest with $5 just sitting here, with dozens of people just standing around and not taking it.
Yevon, it decides which machina we may use and which we may not.
So what kind of machina may we not use then?
Remember Operation Mihan? That kind.
Or war will rage again.
Sure, banning all guns, Machina, would work for a bit, but you don't need Machina to kill, you just need something sharp and stabby, like a sword, like so many of the inhabitants of Spira seem to carry around. But I'm gonna leave it at that because this issue is pretty relevant at the moment and I am not opening up that wound.
But it's not like the Machina are bad.
Only as bad as their users.
I already said I'm not going there, jeez.
Because of people like the Albed screwing everything up.
Tempting fate.
Yuna, we'll save you!
How is Walker talking so clearly underwater? Pyreflies, motherfucker.
I'm sorry, we're all okay now.
Yuna.
Oren doesn't scold everyone else for standing up as well. Owoka's already across the Moonflow, even though he was back at the other side before we boarded the shoe puff. 15-year-old girls undressing? Listen, I may be a horny slut, but oh, okay, never mind. I don't know if it's just me, but if we go back and compare Riku's eyes to back when Tidus first met her near Baj Temple, she has very different looking eyes. Is it just me? Am I imagining this?
She was the one who helped me before I was washed up on Besaid. She's an Albed.
Wow, so you like all your life.
Tidus practically finished saying bed, so Wakka's a complete numpty for somehow not concluding that Riku's an Al-Bed. Only Riku, or any character who has the steal ability, knows how to open chests during battle, even though Tidus has been opening chests the whole journey. You're supposed to button your coat from the bottom up, Trommel. Your stupid little fashion trend isn't catching on with anybody.
These are the past leaders of the Guado.
They all look the same.
That's actually racist. Nice one, Tidus.
She once lived in this metropolis.
She who?
Even Yuna is sick of the pronoun game.
Lord Braska was entrusting you with a great task. He wanted you to face sin, as Lady Yunalesca did.
Braska expected her child to go off and sacrifice herself to save Spira. Sure, it's for the greater good, but Braska is still a dick to his child.
You okay?
Don't let your parents hear this cutscene, folks.
Why are you still here, sir? I beg your pardon. We Guado are keen to the scent of the far plane.
The humor in this game may be a little hit or miss, but fucking hell if I don't crack up every time I see Tidus give Auron the sniff. Also, foreshadowing or something, who cares?
Aren't you coming?
I do not belong there. Searching the past to find the future. This is all that is there. I need it not.
Even though this is some pretty harsh foreshadowing in hindsight, along with the previous scene, they managed to do a pretty good job of hiding it. Here at least, Riku stays behind as well as Auron to sort of deter your possible theory that Auron is unsent. It's a good cover-up. Well, at least until 5 minutes later when Yuna is sending Lord Jiskel and Auron's like, chest pain! Having chest pain!
Yo, Chapu!
Well, what do you know? Chapu really is Tidus' doppelganger. Right down to the short orange hair and chiseled features. And Wakka, what the fuck?
It was his fault that me and my mother...
Tidus' mother appears before him at the far plane, despite never having travelled to the real world or despite no one performing a sending for her. Explanation for this phenomenon is a little ambiguous, so screw it, pyreflies it is. No one notices Lord Jiskel dropping this sphere, so everyone can act surprised about its contents at the most appropriate time to enhance the effect of the twist.
I will go. Meet with Maester Seymour.
Yuna has a very good voice actor.
Maester Seymour left Guado Salam a short while ago.
I await your favourable reply, Yuna. Anyway, I'm gonna slip out of town and not tell you. Have fun, kiddo.
They say Seymour went to Macarena Temple.
Oh no! We're here!
Scared of lightning cliché. Tidus survives this.
A man by the name of Bilgan appeared. Using Machina, he built towers that served as lightning rods across the plains.
How is Bilgan never struck by lightning while building these towers?
Bilgan was building that tower over there when he was struck and killed by lightning.
Oh. Well, still sinning it, still stupid, don't care. Sometimes battles become tedious when they're filled with more than one enemy who can really only be attacked by one specific party member, such as here. Wakka's pretty much the only one with high enough accuracy to hit these flying fiends, while everyone else has a fraction of a chance. Trauma Center 4, Riku's colonoscopy. Rin just so happens to be at the travel agencies that Tidus and company are visiting, every single time. Jiskel's fear is nowhere near this glitchy sounding when everyone else listens to it. I'm gonna steal a bit from my old Let's Play channel for this sin. I know it's poorly edited, but oh well.
The sphere is his will. It says, take care of my son.
His son? Seymour? Well, I know one way to take care of him.
Sure, Yuna, leave the sphere just sitting there, the thing that you don't want anyone to see. Taking a picture of someone without their permission is a crime, jackass. In awe at the size of this lad, absolute unit.
I have something to tell you.
This short discussion out in the open does not result in anyone being struck by lightning.
Next, we're going to Makalania Temple. Yuna can talk with Seymour there. We Guardians will wait until they're done and plan our next move.
Your next move should already be planned. After Makalania, you head to Bevel, then finally to Zanarkand. There's nothing else to plan. Final Fantasy games usually have some sort of crystal motif, but here they kind of forgot to put the crystals in the game, so they said, fuck it, let's make the forest the crystals.
Have you seen Donna?
Like, honestly though, who cares about Donna? It's such an unimportant and forgettable B-plot that it's really hard to care. Actually, B-plot? More like, I don't know, Z-plot.
A butterfly with rainbow wings will lead the way to secret things.
I will not touch that butterfly, 'cause if I do, I may just die. Kamari's celestial weapon is of no worth, not more so than my unfortunate birth. Reusing bosses as regular enemies. Hey, we're running low on boss designs. Anyone got any ideas? Circle. Okay, interesting, good, yes, but I feel like we should add something else. Rectangle. Perfect!
If you're sitting there watching this, it means you're stuck in Spira like me.
Jack records this sphere for Tidus, even though there's an extremely small chance that Tidus would ever end up in Spira in the first place. He's recording this in Makalania Woods, just outside of Bevelle, where he, Braska, and Orin started their pilgrimage. So it's relatively safe to assume that Jack has no idea about the final Aeon or becoming Sin, so he likely hasn't asked Orin to take care of his son yet.
He was always talking about going home to Xanarkand.
The reason why Orin's dialogue is so good 80% of the time is because of the massive ass collar that hides his lips, so he gets free reign to say whatever he wants, without it needing to be lip-synced. Oh boy, my favourite! Backtracking! Especially in a game that's pretty much just been one long fuck-off hallway with almost no shortcuts. I really can't be bothered going back and grabbing the rest of Jack's spheres for this video, so whatever.
He'll be rich by tomorrow, all on account of this celebration thing.
Everybody's celebrating, even though the Guado are just spreading rumours and there's no confirmed date of the wedding? Jumping the gun a bit, eh lads?
Temple not far. Why stop here?
Kamari would be good at gaming sins.
Lady Yuna, we've been expecting you. We were surprised you decided to come so soon.
Trommel clearly has not heard of phrasing. 11-year-old me had a lot of trouble with the next boss, but we're not sinning the boss for being difficult. I mean, it's really not. What I am sinning here is the 2 to 3 minute long cutscene that plays right before engaging the boss. You know, the cutscene you can't skip. Fucking RPGs, mate, I tell you what. We're gonna riddle your bodies with holes thanks to this massive gun. Anyway, just gonna put that away. Smart move. If only your most powerful attack wasn't also a magic-based attack. But, you know, you do you, man.
Aistra guardian of Yuna. Wika? Yuna kva. Fafem kintran. Krak kva.
Like the rest of the Albed, Riku's intention is to keep the summoners safe. So instead of kidnapping Yuna like she was supposed to, she chooses to become Yuna's guardian. Why? This doesn't solve anything. Yuna's pilgrimage continues and Riku wanders headfirst into the danger the Albed want to protect summoners from.
I can't believe I've been traveling with an Albed, a heathen.
It takes Walker this long to figure out Riku is Albed, even though numerous people, such as Orin back at the Moonflow, figure it out simply by looking at her eyes, which have a sort of spiral shape in them.
Will this move?
Why do they even need the sleds to get to the temple in the first place? It's a 2-minute walk and Walker, Yuna, and Trommel beat everyone there on foot anyway.
Summoners are... well, you could say that they sacrifice themselves to bring happiness to Spira.
She literally says summoners are a sacrifice. How Tidus doesn't get clued in at this stage is admittedly impressive.
The likes of her are not welcome in this hallowed place.
Even this dude could tell Riku was Albed. Walker, what the fuck?
Lord Jiskel! A sphere in Lady Yuna's belongings.
Yeah, okay, but the fuck you doing searching Yuna's stuff?
I will leave this world soon, killed by my own son. Whoever is watching this, I implore you to stop Seymour. Stop my son.
Never mind the fact that Seymour's bad news, as if you didn't see it coming, but what about all those people who just heard Jiskel's confession? Trommel shatters Jiskel's fear later on, but there are people who still know what really happened regardless.
We will protect Yuna from anyone, even a maester.
If he is truly at fault, it must be done.
You'll have much better luck reporting that sphere to the proper authorities rather than becoming vigilantes, carrying out your own justice and complicating matters.
Well, Seymour, I made it, despite your directions.
Superintendent Dean, it's welcome. I hope you're prepared for an unforgettable luncheon.
Yeah.
Seymour!
Please be silent. Lady Yuna prays to the faith.
Make me!
I came to stop you.
I see. You came to punish me, then?
Stop right fucking there or I'm calling the police! Several hours ago, you witnessed Seymour summoning Anima, an all-powerful Aeon that kills enemies with a single blast. It's cool as heck. You want it, right? You want to be able to summon that thing yourself, yeah? Nah, now you gotta fight it. That's why I love this fight. For me, personally, it's one of the biggest oh fuck moments in gaming. Shiva's, well, I mean, she's hot. That counts for something, right?
Wait a minute, it's not our fault at all. Seymour struck first, he's the bad guy.
Tidus, you lying shit. I summoned Shiva and heavenly struck that bare-chested bitch before he could do shit. Cloister of Trials. Trommel was allowed to waddle on out of here, but no, of course we have to do the trial, don't we? It's cool that the developers put in just that little bit more effort to make the save spheres actual objects in universe instead of them being used solely to save the game. But why would Owaka need to use one? When we use it, we can only ever teleport to an airship later on in the game, and no way does Owaka have an airship because, well, no one has an airship. Can he teleport to other save spheres? And if so, why can't we? Discount Pokemon. Everyone survives this. Tidus and the gang end up underneath the Makalania temple, even though they were a fair distance away from it when the lake ice gave way.
She's so together. All grown up, I guess. Well, just give me 5 or 6 more years.
Heh, tell that to all the artists who drew Riku lewds.
I wanted to confront Maester Seymour about his father, Lord Jiskel. I wanted to convince him to turn himself in to Yevon's judgment.
In exchange for marriage?
Yes, if that's what it took.
On one hand, it's not worth sinning Yuna's decision to keep her plan to herself. There's nothing particularly wrong with a character who has flaws, and Yuna's want to keep to herself about it is such a flaw. But that's a pretty dumb plan. If Yuna and Seymour were married to bring joy and hope to the people of Spira, wouldn't Seymour being locked up in prison or sentenced to death or whatever punishment he gets be extremely demoralizing for the people of Spira?
What did Seymour say?
He didn't say anything. Now I don't even think it was worth it.
So you told him, yet when we rock up to the Chamber of the Faith, Seymour says, I bet you know I killed Jiskel, so why are you even here? Either Yuna never asked Seymour, or he's got the memory span of a goldfish.
We must go to Bevel. We must speak with Maester Micah and explain what has happened.
We have defied Yevon and are now labelled as traitors and infidels. Let's go to the fucking heart of Yevon.
Will you come with us?
I am the troublemaker after all.
Yeah, that's right. You can always count on Aaron to complicate things.
Yeah. Kamari roars and Orin runs off, and...
I never asked you to follow me.
Hey, but that's what friends are for.
Is there something I'm missing here, or is this one of the most nonsensical conversations any set of characters has ever had?
Your singing reminded me of Spira.
Oh, right. You're not originally from Zanarkand, are you?
Tidus never questions Orin being from somewhere other than Zanarkand, which he at the time believed to be the entire world. Sin picks up Tidus and the gang and drops them off in an oasis on the other side of the world that also has no connection to the ocean. Okay then.
Need some help?
Orin Ex Machina.
Are you alright?
Lulu Ex Machina. Thundara only does 118 damage, when normally it does well over 1,000. You were 2 meters away this whole time and didn't bother to step in and help Tidus out with that giant-ass bird? Waka, what the fuck?
There's something I want to tell you, but promise not to say anything.
Waka, what the fuck?
There's a place us Albed call home near here.
Naming your home? Home, cliché. The desert has a bunch of signs warning travelers of areas with particularly vicious fiends, but because Riku doesn't feel like just reading it, you'll never know which area it is unless you've translated enough of the Albed language. Riku is henceforth the worst character in the game. I think I speak for everyone when I say these worms can go fuck themselves. All they do is swallow. Story of my life, let me tell you what.
Oh! Who's attacking us?
Let it be known that characters who speak 2 languages will speak both languages in conversation, even when the person on the receiving end doesn't understand one or the other. Dragon Quest, I'm looking at you. Yeah, all I can hear right now is, an annoying cunt! Better hope you got everything you wanted while you were here. This door locks behind you once you go through it with no indication that it'll do so, which is an utter failure of game design.
This place done for.
The Albed said summoners were being sacrificed. That summoners shouldn't have to do a pilgrimage.
Why couldn't they trust guardians to protect the summoners? The Albed had no right stopping their pilgrimage.
The pilgrimages have to stop. If they don't, and they get to Zanarkand, they might defeat Sin. Uni could... But then she... Uni will die, you know?
Okay, for one, take a shot whenever Riku says, you know, at the end of any sentence. I guarantee you'll be deceased in a matter of minutes. On the other hand, this little twist works well on several different levels. My favourite is that it makes repeat playthroughs more interesting. Knowing that summoners die after calling the final Aeon, you'll cringe real hard whenever Tidus says something like, let's come back here and visit after we've defeated Sin. Apart from that, it's a great twist that sets a whole bunch of cool character developments into motion. Most notably and importantly, the transformation of Tidus from whiny brat to slightly less whiny brat. But it also, in my opinion, highlights Yuna's cynicism in that she's willing to kill herself to grant a morsel of happiness to Spira, even though it won't last long, and it's even better when she becomes more idealistic towards the end of the game. There's all sorts of ways to look at this plot beat, and that's why I love it. Damn, son, these guys have been dead for only a little bit and they're already turning into fiends?
And I've been telling Yuna! Let's go to Xanarkin together! Let's beat Sin! I told her all the things! Good.
Nobody punches my darling Valefor and gets away with it. A sin for making us rewatch this in the first place, but a mercy win for not forcing us to listen to all that laughing again. I know the intention of the scene, but I don't need to hear it again, thanks. The airship the Albed found at the bottom of the ocean is already fully restored and functional.
And then you just drag her to Xanarkin and make her fight Shin, huh?
Shin?
You're all the same. Let the summoner die so we can live in peace!
Ui, it's Jack.
For someone who's never piloted in their life, Brother sure is doing a good job of commandeering this airship right now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to wrong side of YouTube. I keep calling it that. I've been calling it that for 2 years now. Probably should have waited until you were further away to blow up home, but okay.
Hey, look. Don't get so down. Boom! Like happy festival fireworks, yeah?
Walker, what the fuck?
I don't even rightly know how this rig flies, either.
Sid, mate, if I've learned anything during our adventure, it's to blame it on the pyreflies.
Vitran! Fight Yuna!
God knows how this footage is being transmitted to them, or how they even located Yuna in the first place. Pyreflies? Also, whoa! Holy fuck, Yuna's hot! I mean, she's very pretty, and she'll grow up to be a beautiful woman.
I'm glad Yuna's okay and all, but what's with those fancy clothes?
Walker doesn't know what a wedding dress is.
The guardian worm, Evre, the great sacred beast, protector of Bavel.
The red carpet has teeth.
And Orin continues to grow more badass with every passing line of dialogue.
We gotta keep our distance, boys, but we can't let her get too far away!
Roger, I'll give the commands!
Not alone, you won't.
Only Tidus and Riku can issue the command to move in or pull back for unexplained and unnecessary reasons. Now, how's this for a little bit of gameplay and story segregation? Everybody can freely leap at Evre with their swords and spears and whatnot without ever falling off the ship. Walker can also, as usual, throw and catch his blitzball perfectly, even though it would probably get swept away in the wind the moment it leaves his hand. How the crap did the Aurochs lose 10 years straight again? We interrupt this video game to bring you Ratchet & Clank. Also, what? Discount Hitmonlee.
This has gone far enough.
Oh no, a man with a gun. It's not like we just took a whole bunch of slugs to the chest getting up here or anything.
You would play at marriage just for a chance to send me?
Is Seymour truly this daft? Yuna already killed him once and knows what Seymour did. Marriage would be pretty uncomfortable with this knowledge. Kiss equals marriage, apparently. No vows, no pronouncing of man and wife, just a kiss, I guess. Keenock ain't gonna be shooting anybody the way he's holding that gun. It's more jittery than my leg. Seriously, my leg won't stop shaking, please help.
Throw down your weapons. Let them go. Or else.
Do a flip!
Don't worry. I can fly.
Yeah, remember that giant fucking bird I have? Anyone? No? I know I already gave Valefor 100 wins in part 1, but I'll take any opportunity to proclaim my love for this magnificent creature. Still the best Aeon, still not allowed to argue.
Cover your eyes!
He truly is that daft. Despite being on the run from Yevon, Yuna decides the best place to go would be the Bavel Temple to get her next Aeon. This will definitely not end up with the party being caught in an obvious trap. Cloister of Oh no. No, not this one, not this one. I'd rather skin my knees on your mum's crusty feet than do this asinine stand on a platform, hope the arrow flashes the right way so you can press X to go that way, but if not, you're just gonna fall off a cliff and loop back around, and this can happen about 4 or 5 times before it works correctly. Also, everything looks the same, so I literally have no idea where I'm going and what the fuck I'm doing. Bullshit! I fucking hate this garbage. I hate it so much that I'm ending part 2 right here because I'm so fucking mad right now. Good job, Bavel Temple. It's all your fault. Well, that's part 2 done, I guess. Part 3 will be coming very soon, within about 2 weeks, hopefully, though there may be a Forza Horizon 4 bloody short review happening between now and then, so don't get your titties in a twist. Thanks to everyone for their patience while I worked on this. It means a lot to me that you guys can sit tight while I make these. Anyway, onto my patrons. Thank you to all my $5 tier patrons. Mitchell Reese, Pierre Kretem, Loomis Doomis, Scubo, Tabriz Sadiq, Tyler Kazuba, Patrick Wu, Chatter Estop, Gopnik Can, reading these names out was a mistake, Cooper James Price, Sebastian Orbe, The Dervinator, Nathaniel Forrest, Travis Miranda, Thomas Hart, Lazarus Pyro Dave, Dalek Boy, The Ruby Red Rose, and Laurent Lacroix. Okay, is it Lacroix or Lacroix or Lacroix or what? Someone help me out here. Anyway, thank you to all my patrons, regardless of your donation. Your support is currently helping me get a new PC, so I really do truly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to scrub your elbows. I wish someone had told me that growing up.